you didn't know if you wanted to do a past life regression or if you wanted to do traditional hypnosis. What are you thinking?
I think I'd like to do traditional hypnosis. I'm
Okay.
definitely still curious about past life regression, but yeah, I think that this is probably what I'd like to do today.
Okay. So, what are some things that you want to work on?
Um,
Normally, I like to open this with saying, "What sucks?
yeah,
What
yeah.
sucks? Like, what sucks? What's going on? What's blocked in your life? Like, where are you not flowing in the ways that you want to flow?"
I think communication is an issue that I've struggled with.
In specific relationships or just overall?
Yeah, in specific relationships, I think as far as just being able to express myself genuinely, uh,
Mhm.
I struggle with. How do I put this? Kind of speaking up for myself. I have no problem speaking up on behalf of others, but when it comes to myself, I kind of have a tendency to put myself last. So I think that's definitely, and when I do end up expressing myself, it always is beneficial and totally fine. But I
Mhm.
think that it's something I'm not super confident with. So yeah, I think that is likely a bit of a blockage as far as the fear that comes along with actually doing it.
Okay.
Um, so there's that. Um,
So, how do you feel in your communication and not speaking up for yourself? How do you feel that has impacted your life negatively?
I think I accept things that I likely shouldn't accept, certain treatment or relationships, even friendships that, or even boundaries with family members. Like, really, it can show up anywhere,
Yeah.
place, conflicts, anything where I just kind of am like, okay, you know what? It's like an easier, softer way to just let it go. And
Mhm.
maybe externally that is what it looks like, but internally it's not.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, expressing myself in any of those environments is definitely difficult for me. And I think specifically regarding romantic relationships, it it shows up in me accepting things that I know I shouldn't, but have a fear of maybe being alone. So I tend to settle for treatment that is subpar, which is probably a nicer way to put it than
Got
what
it.
it likely is.
Are you in a relationship right now? No. Okay. I see. That's a good one. Boundaries. That's hard. Standing up for yourself.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
yeah. It's like a
Awesome.
muscle. It's
Mhm.
it's something that can be practiced and worked on. I don't think it's an unattainable goal to.
No, not at all. It has a lot to do with self-love and confidence as well. And just being like, you know what, I am worth it to speak up for myself. And just like you said, it's a practice. And it can be scary. It's kind of like scary at first, but then once you do it, you're like, yeah, yeah, hell yeah. And then it feels good and it feels better and better and better. And it's cool just to see things fall just into place when you lay down your boundaries and you put out there, like, this is how I want to be treated. And then you start to be treated like that. And then you're like, holy shit, cool.
Yeah, if if I put that type of energy or set of rules for myself or bottom lines out there, then it's a lot easier to then act on it rather than just kind of going with the flow about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. What else? What else is going on?
Um, I think it's interconnected and related. I don't know if this is a valid question to delve into, but or if this is more of like a mind reading question. But like I wonder why I am not with someone. If that's something that I'm doing, or I'm not putting myself out there, or I'm meeting the wrong people, like that's definitely something that I struggle to understand.
Like why you're not in a relationship? Is that what
Yeah.
you're asking? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's something that can be looked at all today, but it's definitely something I'm curious about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another something. Yeah, I think also another thing I can mention is that I suffer from addiction and have been sober for 5.5 years. Um, so
That's
that's
awesome.
great. No complaints there about the fact that it's been a success
Yeah.
thus far. But yeah, I think it's worth mentioning that there are times where I work really hard at enlarging my conscious contact with a higher power, or working by a certain set of standards, and some other times I kind of let that go as well, and my life gets a little bit more chaotic.
Uh-huh.
Not necessarily by picking up a substance, but just in general, as far as like just letting things fall by the wayside. So it's the consistency is also something I think I struggle with. So yeah, communication, consistency, those
Like
things.
consistency, and what I'm kind of hearing is consistency in, would you call it, your spiritual life, and taking care of your mental and emotional energetic being around you.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
But much more eloquently than I just did.
I mean, it's for real. It's hygiene. I compare it to taking a shower. Like, you need to take care of your mental and emotional, spiritual, energetic body as much as you clean your physical body. And you can't see it, so it's hard to always have that at the forefront, but you can feel it. God, can you feel when you're out of alignment and you're like, shit is going wrong?
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah, that's wild that you just compared it to a shower, because I often do the exact same analogy. So
Ah, cool.
yeah, I love that. I love that very much. You can't shower one time and expect to stay clean forever.
No, yeah.
You got to continually do it for
Mhm.
the effects to last.
It's hygiene. It's hygiene.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
Okay.
is there
Um,
anything else? Like, are there any specific questions that you might ask to get me thinking about certain things, or like how does this work?
yeah, so the cool thing is that do you know anything about hypnosis, or do you kind of want to give you the rundown?
If you could give me the rundown, that would be great.
Awesome. Okay, so it's hypnosis is a relaxation process where we focus. It's just heightened awareness and a heightened focus. So your conscious brain is the one who kind of like directs your day to day. So you're walking around, you're like, I got to figure out something to wear, got to get to work, got to pack my lunch, blah, blah, blah. That's your conscious mind kind of being like, okay, these are the things that survival mode. These are the things that we need to do to survive. So that is only 5% of your brain that's running the show. The other 95% is your subconscious mind. And that is where all your emotional patterning lies, all of your habits, every single memory, every emotion, everything you've ever experienced is in your subconscious mind, but it's not at the forefront, because otherwise we would all go sensory overload, just crazy. So your conscious brain is filtering out the things that it thinks you need to know at this moment to get what you need to get done. So like, it's protecting you, but at the same time, it can hold you in those patterns of addiction. It can hold you in those patterns of holding back, or those things that you that kind of keep you stuck in a rut. But in a way, it's kind of protecting you. Do you see what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, it's less fear of the unknown because you continuously are kind of doing the same thing. Not necessarily the best things, but
Yeah,
yeah, stuff you're.
totally. Cool. So, hypnosis allows you to go into your subconscious mind to just relax and invite all of those old hurts, old traumas, memories, behaviors, invite them to the surface so then you can have a focused look at them. You can, I call it emotional detoxing. We kind of just got to get like purge out all of those old heavy emotions, those traumas that we hold in our body. We actually hold them in our physical body. So a lot of times when we have physical ailments, that's a past trauma that we're just kind of holding on to. So hypnosis allows us to emotionally detox, and it's safe. You feel safe, so you drop that boundary and you allow that to come out. And that's what I'm here for. I'm your guide to help you look at that, to help you release that, to help you heal from that. And then after we do all that, your mind is in this beautifully open, aware, relaxed, like plastic form. So then we can put in new suggestions like the consistency, like the self love, like these deep rooted ground, like positive affirmations that are just super life changing and can have great, great effects on your behavior, your mental health, your life, all of that.
Okay. Yeah, it's when you say that the self love piece, I like automatically get like tensed, uh,
Mm.
which I guess makes sense as far as like the physical reaction. And I have no idea. I come from like a very loving, consistently, like predictably kind family. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, like there's really, as far as like the house I grew up in, like no drama, very lovely, very loving. And I don't know where this deep seated feeling of like unworthiness or I'm not good enough comes from. It was never said to me.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure where that comes from. And I would love to take that time where I'm like plastic and malleable and find a way to maybe get rid of it as like too strong of an expectation, but shift it a little.
I don't think that's too strong of an expectation at all. I think you are an exceptionally powerful being, and in a second you can switch. You can let go and switch. And and also that being said, it takes um, practice. I think that's the word that I want to use, but it takes um, you become aware of it. So you can make that switch and then you're aware of it and then you're like, "Oh yeah. Okay, all I have to do is switch my mind and I know how to do that and I can do that instantly and immediately and right now and then think a different thought." And then the second you think a different thought, your reality changes. So it is not too large of an expectation to have.
When you say it like that, it makes total sense. But I guess because it's just been like my narrative for so long, uh,
Mhm.
it seems big to me. So
Oh, I get it. I so get that. I so get that. Well,
yeah,
it's cool. You're going to show yourself today how immediate this can be. It'll be cool.
I'm into it.
All right, let's do it. So get comfortable, play the music however. As you continue to walk, you see a form approach. This form is dark and misty, and the closer it comes, the more familiar it seems. And in fact, when it gets close enough, you can see it is an exact reflection of you. This reflection feels familiar in a clingy and fearful and draining way. It is a very powerful force, very powerful in getting what it wants. Take a few moments to look at it for what it is. It's the thing that silences you every time you know you should speak up. The thing that has another drink when you decide you've had enough. The thing that whispers, you don't deserve it. They don't love you. They'll never call you back. You shouldn't even try because every time you do, it never works out. You're an embarrassment. You're ugly. Your ideas are stupid. You're a failure and you'll always be that way. You're depressed again and it will never change. This is the thing that stands in your way. In fact, it paralyzes you. Just on the other side of this thing is everything you've ever wanted, everything you've ever intended for your life, everything you wished you were. Face it now. Look at it and see your eyes reflected back. And ask it, what are you? What is your name? Why are you here? See it in front of you now as it reflects back to you all the times it has shown up in your life. Stay with it. Stay in that feeling. Let that feeling grow. Let it consume you. You know this feeling so intimately. In fact, it might always be there. You have just grown used to it. You didn't even realize it's there all the time. Let the numbness fall away. Stop resisting. Let this feeling be seen and heard and felt loudly. Right now, feel it in your body, and without thinking, without hesitation, where is it in your body now? Good. Feel where and how that shows up in your body, and stay with that. We're going to use it as a portal. Now I would like you to follow this feeling, follow it back to a crucial, significant scene, to a time when you were very young, a time when this feeling showed up to you as a child. And without hesitation, as you land in the scene, I am going to ask you some questions. And if it feels good to you, answer out loud. With each word you speak, it will make you more and more relaxed. With each word you speak, you will fall deeper and deeper into hypnosis. With each word you speak, the scene around you will become clearer and clearer. Starting to go back now. Younger, smaller, lighter, back through the years, back to a very crucial, significant scene. As I count from 1 to 3 and snap my fingers, 1, 2, 3. Be there now. You can see yourself right smack in the middle of this scene where this limiting belief showed up in your life. Now, as this scene appears before you and becomes clearer and clearer, I'd like you to notice a couple of things. Is it day or night? Are you inside or outside? Cynthia, who is with you in this scene? What is happening? Good. See it, feel it, hear it now, as if you are that small child, so impressionable, trying to make sense of it all, trying to form your view of the world. What is happening right now that is forming the belief you hold with you, telling you you can't have it? Love is not for you. You can't afford it. Your talents and skills are not enough. Be little you in that scene now. What are you feeling? What is going on? Have an understanding of how that affects and shapes the way that you think today. Good. Now put that scene aside in your mind, because we are going back, back to a time when you were younger, smaller, back to a significant, vibrant scene, all to do with that fear you hold on to today, the thing that stands in the way of everything you've ever wanted. Starting to go back now, younger, smaller, lighter, back through the years as I count from 1 to 3 and snap my fingers. 1, 2, 3. Be there now. You can see yourself right smack in the middle of this scene where this limiting belief first showed up in your life. Now, Cynthia, is it day or night? Are you inside or outside? Who is with you? What is happening? See it, feel it, hear it now, as if you are that small child trying to form your view of the world. What is happening right now that is forming the belief you hold with you today as an adult? Be with little you in that scene now. Have an understanding of how what you heard, saw, and felt shapes the way you think today. What is happening to you? How do you feel? Good. Gathering up any last impressions that you need from this scene and putting that scene aside in your head. We are going back one more time to the most vital scene, the most impactful scene, the most significant scene that has shaped this limiting belief. Starting to go back now, younger, smaller, lighter, back through the years as I count from 1 to 3 and snap my fingers. 1, 2, 3. Be there now. You can see yourself right smack in the middle of this scene where this limiting belief first showed up in your life. Now, Cynthia, is it day or night? Are you inside or outside? Who is with you? What is happening? See it, feel it, hear it now, as if you are that small child so impressionable, trying to make sense of it all, trying to form your view of the world. What is happening right now that is forming the belief you hold with you today? Stay in that scene. See what you see, feel what you feel, and have a greater understanding, have a greater awareness. Good. Now see that scene start to dissolve. See yourself rise above. Take a moment now to pull back and look at all three of those scenes side by side, like you are a detective having a discovery. Go in there and see the thing that connects these three scenes. See the pattern, see the repetition, see the feeling that you feel, the common thread in these three significant scenes. And have a realization. I know now. I see now where these beliefs came from. It all makes sense now. Look at those scenes and understand the impression they had on you as a child and how they shaped and impacted you today. Look over and around and right through those scenes and understand what they did to you. Understand how you formed this belief as a child. You didn't know. You couldn't know what you know now. That sweet little child who was forced to pick up others' beliefs. That isn't you. You learned what you lived, and this belief has stayed with you your entire life, kept you from everything you've ever wanted your entire life. See and understand now where that came from. See that child in those scenes. See little you. Go up to little you and embrace them. See little you in those scenes. Go over to her as adult Cynthia and embrace little one, that little child. Help her to feel seen and understood and safe. Take a moment and talk to her. Ask her what she needs from you and give it to her. Tell her, I love you and I'm here for you. Ask her what she needs from you right now. Take her back to those scenes and let her fully express the emotions she wanted to but never could. Let her rage if she needs to rage, if she needs to scream and cry and shout. Be with her and allow her this space and this time to do that. If she needs to make everyone do what she wants, if she needs to be comforted and protected, whatever she needs in these scenes, whatever emotions she needs to express, let her have that now. Give her the permission to let it come out. Whatever way she wasn't allowed to act or behave or do or see or feel in those scenes, let her do that now and be with her and help her, guide her through this process. If you need assistance, you can call in an angel or a spirit guide. You can call in the element of fire and burn up the scene. You can call in water to cool it down and wash yourself pure and clean of what happened. You can call in earth for a solid foundation of safety and security. You can call in the element of air if you need a breath of life. Whatever action little one needs in these scenes, help her to take action now. Now is the time. Show her her power. Give her the space to express fully her power and do not hold back. Take your time. Good. Good. You're doing great. Now, I would like you to bring forward the people in these scenes who hurt you the most. The people who left a deep-seated mark on your life. Be with little one as you bring these people to stand in front of the two of you. Now is the time to forgive, not because they deserved it, not because what they did was okay. You forgive them for you. You understand they did what they did to you because someone treated them very badly, because they were hurting so deeply. They were acting out of fear. Imagine them now as a child. Recognize that every child deserves to be loved and cared for. Understand that they did not receive that, and they will hurt until they choose to heal, which might not happen in this lifetime. So if you can, forgive that child who was hurt and broken, and feel the weight dissolve off of you. It is safe here today. It is safe to feel your feelings. Feel them and set yourself free. You are supported. You are protected. The time is now. Today is the day of forgiveness. Forgiveness allows you the opportunity to release all fear and resentment, shedding these experiences to transition into the light of pure love and understanding. Let go of your hurt. It is time to step into the light. See these people dissolve before your eyes. You have let them go. You have set yourself free. After reviewing these scenes of your life, you have decided that this limiting belief no longer serves you, and it's time for little one to hear it. It's time for your brain to hear it. Tell little one, that's not me because I choose my beliefs. From this moment forward, I choose my experience. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. As an adult, it will never be necessary or relevant or interesting for you to continue to live this pattern. You choose here today to eradicate that belief from your life, and you choose to replace it with something better. If that old belief can shape your life, so can this new one. Say to yourself now, I love myself. I love myself. Feel it in your heart. Take a nice big deep breath into your heart and just let it expand. As you do, say the words, I love myself. And you can feel it like a bright white light vibrating and illuminating every cell in your heart, every cell in your being. You can feel the pure energy of love fill up your entire body, vibrating every cell, lighting you up from the inside. I love myself. I am enough. I am enough. I love myself. Seeing that bright white light, feeling it enter through the crown of your head, moving down your entire body. This bright white light fills up every pore, every cell, every inch of your body, nothing left. This white light illuminates. It raises you up, it lifts you up as you feel completely held and comforted and cradled with love and understanding and peace. That is the love that you've created for yourself. That is the unending love that is always there for you. You will never be alone. It is always here for you. This love is yours. As you can feel it in your body, you can feel it start to change your life. And you know that you make your beliefs, and your beliefs make you. Every second of every day, you choose what you let in. You choose what you believe. So from here on out, you choose to believe that you are deeply significant. You have value to offer the world, and the more you offer, the more is given back. Say to yourself, say to little one, I attract love because I give love. I give love freely and unendingly. I don't choose when to give love. I always give love because I have unending love. I have tapped deep into the source of love, and it is flowing and it is fulfilling every moment of my life. And I can always give love because I have an unending supply of love. It is always here for me, unconditional, no matter what. I feel solid and firm in this foundation. I am unshakable. I am unbeatable. I am solidly standing in this light, bright, illuminating love. I attract love because I give love. I attract the exact kind of love that I want. I attract love in the highest form. because I am love in the highest form. Good. Now picture yourself with an immense abundance of love, of wealth, of creativity, of health. See all the things that you give to the world with what you have. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you allow this energy to fill your life, the more you receive. It is unending. And you know how to allow. You've been practicing. You just relax. Say, yes, I allow. I allow. Yes. Feel yourself with vast wealth, with perfect health. See all that you could be and all that you could do. You are in a state of flow. You are a vessel. It would be selfish to keep these gifts. It would be selfish to keep this love to yourself. See all the people you could serve, all the good you could do. Your gifts come in and they come out. So you are deeply significant and important. You honor your feelings. Every time you have a feeling, you honor it without a doubt because it feels like you are giving love to yourself. Every time you stand strong, you can feel your feet deeply rooted into the ground, into the supportive Mother Earth. You can feel yourself standing strong and tall because you are worth it and you are deserving. And your feelings matter first and foremost above anyone else. And you are here to honor your feelings and honor yourself. And every time you do, it feels so good because you are standing up for you, because you are the worthiest cause. You are the only cause that you have come here for. The number one. The more you honor yourself, the more you stand up for yourself, then the more you can give to others. From this point forward, every single word you say, every thought you think is the blueprint of your life. Now that you are conscious and aware of your thoughts, you choose your beliefs, you choose your mood, your money, your health through your thoughts today. You are a conscious creator. What you move towards will move towards you. Anytime you might feel anxious or tension or sadness, accept these feelings as messages trying to tell you something. Every time you feel something, every time, every feeling is a message. Accept it and allow it, welcome it, no matter what it is. That's how you show yourself unconditional love. So every time you feel something, now is the time to listen. Every time you feel something is an opportunity to check in with yourself. What is the message? What do you need right now? Do you need love? Do you need comfort? Then you can take the time to give it to yourself, to nurture yourself. The first thing you're going to do is feel that feeling in your body, in your physical being, and take a nice big deep breath and send breath to that exact spot where that feeling is showing up, whether it be tension or warmth or however it may feel, whatever the sensation. You are going to send a big cooling breath right there. And you can do that right now. And breathe into 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out. And the more you do that, the more you feel the tension dissipate. the more you feel the anxiety dissolve. With each exhale, that feeling will leave your body to be transmuted to anything you choose. This is your exercise now. You can do it over and over and over again until you feel better, until you feel loved and safe and comforted. You got this. This is your gig. You are here for a purpose. Take a moment to revel in that realization and just breathe. Take a moment to sit and relax and just breathe. And as I count from 5 to 1, you will become fully aware in this room, feeling whole, happy, and completely at peace. 5. Slowly coming back into your body, into this room. 4, 3, feeling relaxed and revived. 2, starting to wiggle your fingers and toes. Good. 1, fully aware in this room, eyes open, feeling wide awake and wonderful in every way. How are you feeling?
Um, a little out of it.
Yeah,
Not bad. Um, just a little out of it.
yeah. That's pretty common.
Yeah. I don't know if I fell asleep at certain points or I was just like very much in it. I don't know.
Maybe, it's pretty common like when you're that relaxed to either kind of forget or fall asleep, but either way, your subconscious is listening loud and clear.
Wow, that was really something.
Yeah, so how was that process for you?
Um, Good. I at first wasn't sure, like when I was going down the staircase, if I would like be able to get into the second state.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I was like, "There's no way," but I guess it happened.
Snuck up on you?
It's like I don't know. I was thinking, and then I just wasn't.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I really.
So when you met this shadow figure, how did that represent itself to you?
Um, Funny because at first, like I saw this like big being character. I don't know. And then the closer I got, it was smaller and smaller, and I was like, "Who is that? What is that?" And then
Yeah.
when it was me, I was like, "Oh, oh," because I just couldn't make out what it was.
Mhm.
I was like, right, kind of in it. Um, it was like looking at like myself standing under like a rain cloud, um, just like a sad version of myself.
Mm,
Yeah,
interesting.
a weird way to meet myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it represented like all the things that I don't want to embody.
It's interesting that it showed up as just like a very small thing. That's kind of something that you mentioned you want to work on and being, standing up for yourself more. And I feel like that requires, yourself to be larger and kind of like bigger. Okay, so how is it to re-experience those childhood scenes?
Um, Not as hard as I thought it would be. A bit bad, um, but a little more, like less so than meeting myself. It was like a little more calming and familiar, if that makes any sense.
That's good. Where did you land in your first scene?
So when I was originally landing in childhood memories, it was like happy and nice, and the colors were bright and everything.
Yeah.
And then when I was, oh, that just reminds me of when I was walking through the original field and there was the meadow and the flowers. Like I have never seen flowers that bright. It was as if I was looking at like a painting.
Uh-huh.
Prior to you saying like these are the brightest flowers you ever seen, I was like, what?
Mhm.
Yeah, I forgot about that until a second.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, I was like, that doesn't even look real. Yeah, so I ended up being a little more scared at a point, I guess, um, when I had moved through like certain childhood memories around different family members that weren't within like the four walls that I grew up in.
Hmm.
So yeah, I landed there afterwards, and then I don't know if my like brain was trying to like save me by trying to keep me within like that dinner table environment,
Uh-huh.
but I seem to just keep going back to that.
Ah, gotcha. So for all three scenes, you kind of just kept going back to your dinner table.
For the first one, yes. The second one, no. And then the third one, I was like, yep, we're going back.
You're back, you're back to the dinner table.
Yeah.
Nice. So then after that, when you went down and were with your small child and kind of walked through like meeting her needs in those scenes, how was that for you?
I don't even know if I remember that. That comment?
Yeah, no, that's pretty common. Yeah, you'll probably remember it like later on. So do you remember when I had you go and kind of like meet your child, and then you had a moment where you were kind of like being the safety for the child and saying things like I love you, and then asking the child to go back into the scenes and to express any type of emotion or feeling, and then if they wanted to use like and then we used some elementals like fire, water, earth, air, anything. Do you remember that at all?
Not at all.
Really?
So wild.
Wow. That's actually pretty cool. So, and that's another way for your conscious, like you said, your conscious mind was trying to keep you in that safety of that dinner table scene. So, like the work was done, that your subconscious was there. It was feeling and working on deep cellular levels. So like you might remember it, but this is just another way for your conscious mind to kind of keep you safe.
Wow.
So, do you remember the forgiveness part at all?
Yeah.
How was that?
Good. Yeah. Sorry. It's weirding me out that.
It's
Uh,
kind of crazy. So it's kind of like, again, it goes back to you're working on communication, you're working on expressing yourself, you're working on standing up for your boundaries. And that section was exactly that. That section was you taking your little child, expressing her feelings, expressing her boundaries, like allowing her to just like fully, like crazily or however she wants to, like go out and like stand in her power. So it's interesting that that's the part you don't remember.
yeah. Wild.
Wild.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something.
Yeah. Well, you can always in your own, do you have any sort of like meditation or prayer or any sort of practice like that? So in your practice, you can just always say things to your subconscious like, I would like to remember it's okay if I remember, kind of like assuring yourself. So if those memories come up, they could.
Yeah, I difficult or not, I think I would love to be able to remember them so that
Hmm.
I just experience whatever it is and be aware of what I'm experiencing. It's a weird feeling to not have any kind of knowledge of it. I'm sure something came up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
May-
I will do that.
Maybe even when you watch this video back, that might trigger it as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think that part of me is like, oh boy, it's recorded. And the other part of me is like, that's fantastic because maybe
Hmm.
when we listen to it, I will be able to have something triggered and have either a new experience or be able to remember something in there that I can't seem to right now.
Yeah. Huh. It's interesting, it's all information. So then, for the last part, was there any certain affirmation that stuck with you, or any kind of like feeling or visual sense or anything like that that you got that kind of impacted you?
Um, I think it was like when I was meeting my original self at the beginning, there were certain things that it was saying to me, or not my original self, but like the darker side of myself. At the beginning, it was saying like all of these negative things to me,
Yeah.
um, and they weren't polar opposites that were being affirmed to me at the end, but they were not the same wording. They weren't like you are stupid or ugly or don't matter or whatever was being said to me at the beginning that felt like something was punching me in the chest. Uh,
Mm,
by the time I was getting to that acceptance, forgiveness part at the end, it felt a little more light.
mhm.
Yeah, and it wasn't like you're the greatest gift to grace this earth, but just not super negative reinforcement that I had originally heard and like heard so loudly versus the voice at the end was kind of a little soft and gentle and quiet, less blaring. So yeah, much more soothing.
Yeah, that's good. Was there a certain phrase or an image that stuck with you at all?
Um, I don't know if you brought up a pond.
In the beginning, yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, a pond was what I was seeing at the end, and I
Mhm.
at the beginning you brought it up.
Yeah, just briefly. It just one word. We didn't even really talk about it though.
I don't remember it from then, but maybe that's why I'm remembering it now because it's from the beginning.
Maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the image that I had.
Pond. That's so great. Yeah. So definitely, I encourage you to revisit that image. Anytime you might feel your shadow self roaring and those negative kind of blaring whatever's, to remind yourself of that pond and bring it up in your mind, feel the way that it feels in your body. If any sort of affirmation or word sticks with you, write that. That could be really helpful.
Yeah, yeah, maybe the word serenity.
Serenity. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that is a wild experience.
It's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah. Wow. Sorry, I'm like I usually have a lot more to say. I'm kind of in awe. I really had a little bit of me that was skeptical that I wasn't going to be able to reach a certain state and just kind of
Sure. Yeah, of course. It takes a while to like come back here to earth, it feels like. Well, what's really cool, okay, so I love past life regressions. Like I love doing hypnosis this way. It's amazing and life changing. Past life regression is really interesting if you ever come across, wanting to try it or whatever, it's cool because it it's kind of like a trick for your mind. It's like you're watching a movie and you can kind of see those blocks kind of projected out. So I feel like people with blocks or things that they can't remember or their conscious mind just kind of like won't let them go there. In a past life, it allows you to kind of look at it like you're watching a movie. And so you can kind of see those things being represented instead of reliving them. So they're kind of cool too. I really like experiencing therapy in that way. So if you're ever interested in that, you should try it.
Yeah, that sounds really, really interesting. I was a toss up between which one to do today. I'm definitely interested in both, and now that I've experienced the hypnosis and can
Yeah.
confirm, yeah,
They're both cool. They're both really cool.
definitely an experience and it's
Yeah.
information. And yeah, it's an interesting process. I'm more open than I was, even though I was already open to past life regression. So that's
Yeah. Well, definitely take time after this and, take care of yourself, like drink a lot of water, do a lot of journaling, or I don't know what your thing is, but like painting, drawing, journaling, any kind of thing like that to just kind of express and kind of get out and process, kind of what you just went through. It will be helpful to kind of get you back down on the ground, like go eat a snack or something and kind of bring yourself back down to earth.
yeah, yeah. I will definitely get my journal out. That's a great way.
Awesome. Well, it was so nice to meet you, Cynthia. This was so much fun. I'm so glad we had a chance to do this, and I hope you got something out of it.
Definitely. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'm so glad that the connection worked today.
Oh my gosh. Yes, me too.
Yeah, this was really awesome. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Well, be well. We'll see ya.
Okay, bye.
Bye.